Are you ready?
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
All right, let's do it. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins.
Yo, man.
Nice job, David. Way to freak out Scott right at the start of the show.
Dang it. I'm telling you, it's going to occupy a huge space in my brain the rest of the day now. Thanks,
right,
Van Camp, for that.
President Trump puts out a statement on Truth Social saying, in part, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never
Lord.
to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. Maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We'll find out tonight." And it was more of an offhand comment. I don't think this is going to happen, but I was just saying, like, oh, they're going to drop a nuke, aren't they?
Oh, geez.
And then all of a sudden I hear the puckering from Scott.
Golly.
Just ongoing, oh, gosh.
I hadn't even thought about it until he brought it up, and I'm thinking, well, maybe that's what he's talking about
I
here.
don't think so, Scott.
If I'm watching TV tonight and the old mushroom cloud shows up, oh, Daddy.
Well, I guess you could go on Polymarket right now. I bet that's probably not going to happen. Okay? But Fire and Fury is certainly possible because you got to figure, are they going to make a deal? Is Iran going to make a deal?
Well, I mean, there have just been so many fast-moving developments. I mean, within an hour, I'm seeing from multiple different news outlets, Iranian propaganda, like the Wall Street Journal says, yes, Iran has cut off all diplomatic, both indirect and direct conversations with the United States. New York Times says the same thing. Tehran Times is like, no, the back channels and the main channels, they're still open. And then other news outlets are saying, yes, there is still time to make a deal. Fox News reporting, hey, man, there may be some movement on an agreement here. I mean, it is just chaotic, and I think that is to the Trumpsters' benefit. To say,
you're right about that.
Because nobody knows what he's talking about.
No.
As far as what happens at 8 p.m., and I'm like, is that 8 p.m. Tehran time? Is that Washington time?
That's supposed to be Washington time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we shall see. I mean, he made the statement. I don't know if you heard all of it, but here's part.
We have a plan, because of the power of our military, where every bridge in Iran will be decimated by 12 o'clock tomorrow night, where every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again. I mean, complete demolition by 12 o'clock. And it'll happen over a period of 4 hours if we wanted to. We don't want that to happen. We may even get involved with helping them rebuild their nation. And you know what? If that's the case, the last thing we want to do is start with power plants, which are among the most expensive thing, and bridges. You saw the bridge one. We were very close to a deal. And then I got a call from Mr. Witkoff, Mr. Kushner, and JD saying, I think they're breaking the deal. I said, tell them that's okay. Don't worry about it. But tell them to look out their window and watch. And within 45 minutes, I gave the order to knock out the biggest bridge.
Yep.
It's like Godfather stuff, right? I want them to know it was me.
Oh, yeah.
Look out your window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll never see another one like him.
No.
We'll just go ahead and say that.
Wow, man.
And
wow, it's like, this is like, is there a terrorist union? You got to meet with the union head and go, hey, okay, we'll get lunch breaks in here. We'll get more an hour. What are we doing here?
You don't even know who's in charge, really.
That's the problem, right?
Yes.
I mean, they got the guy, the third in command, Weirdbeard, and he's in the hospital still. In grave condition.
Oh, the son.
Guy? Yeah.
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 Yeah, the gay guy.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, and tell me if you think I'm off base with this, everybody wants to think of the people in charge in Iran with the same sort of mindset of anybody else. They don't have that. It's a whole different ideology. And to a lot of those people, it's like, okay, you kill us, so what? That's our gain.
Mm-hmm.
because of the reward we're going to get because of what our religion tells us.
Talking about rounding people up and putting them around these electrical stations and on bridges and that kind of thing.
Yeah, they have human shields deployed.
Yeah, human shields in place, or will have.
Yeah, and they do that because they know how media will treat it. Because they've learned that lesson over the last few years if they didn't already know it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're dealing with people with a completely different mindset. I don't think a deal's going to get done. I hope it does. Yeah. But, I mean, if you had to bet on it, do you think it's going to get done by 8 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I think there's a good chance of something getting done that would halt that from happening, whether it's a framework or, whatever it is.
Might be in bad taste, but, I mean, you guys are already down. Do you want to go $5 on that? I hope it doesn't happen. I hope you're right.
Yeah, I don't want to bet on it.
Yeah.
It makes me a little
feel
queasy.
Funky about it. Yeah, I don't want to do that either.
Yeah. Is that because it's just a bad feeling, or you don't want to lose any more?
No, it's a
You're
bad
down.
Both. It's both.
Got it.
At this point in time,
Yeah.
I'll never be able to repay you. But it's all installment loans at 18% interest. I'll never ever get ahead of it. No, I don't. I sincerely hope that cooler heads or somebody with the regime in Iran goes, wait a minute, we can't let this happen. They're going to do it.
You already know.
I don't know what else they have to prove that they're going to do things.
It doesn't seem like they care about their people a whole lot.
They don't care about their people. I thought we're surrounding power plants with them,
Yeah.
Who does that?
Well, and Trump brought it up yesterday. When it comes to these people, they are, BS artists.
Yeah, well.
He highlighted that.
Yeah, well, he's talking about the Strait of Hormuz in the context here that maybe, do they actually have the capability to mine as much as they say they do? And Trump's like, well, I don't even know if that's a real threat.
Yeah, they say it. I don't know.
That's one thing that's a little different than other things. We can bomb the hell out of them. We can knock them out for a loop. But to close the strait, all you need is one terrorist that somehow has a truck loaded with, because you can carry them in trucks, large trucks, a water mine, drop them in the water, and now you tell people that own ships that cost $1 billion to don't worry about the mine. You can do that even just by saying we put mines in the water. So it's not like the rest. We can knock out their military. We already have. We've knocked out their Navy. We've knocked out their Air Force completely. We've knocked out 158 ships in 3 days. We've knocked out even their mine droppers. They don't have any mine droppers anymore, but they put them on other boats, and they could drop them. I'm not even sure they have any mines there, by the way. I'm not sure. I'm personally, they say there might be 8. I don't know. I think there might be none because they're very good bullshit artists. That's why for 47 years they've been bullshit other presidents, and they haven't done the job. And people are living in hell. You live in that country, they're living in hell.
Yeah. Then don't protest.
Yeah.
At least a few months ago. Saw that.
And nobody's taking up their case here either in the streets.
I mean, outside of conservative media, who brought it up when it was happening? You didn't hear a whole lot.
It got some mentions, and it was always in the frame of President Trump's not going to do anything about this.
Right.
And now he's doing something about it, and they're like, more crime!
What are we doing? Yeah. Yeah. So we'll be, keeping an eye on that all day today. Meanwhile, Trump had encouraging words to the Canadian astronaut.
Yeah, he did. So President Trump, he called the Artemis crew to congratulate them on making it around the far side of the moon. And he had a special message for the Canadian aboard. As an astronaut, Jeremy Hansen, as Hansen was wrapping up his thanks to America for letting him hitch a ride with us.
Okay, roll it.
And Canadians are so proud to be a part of this program.
Well, I have to say I spoke to a very special person, Wayne Gretzky, who I think you know, the great one. And I spoke to your prime minister and many other friends I have in Canada. They are so proud of you. And you have a lot of courage. I'm not sure if they'd want to do that. I'm not even sure if the great one would want to do that, to be honest with you. But you have a lot of courage doing what you're doing, a lot of bravery and a lot of genius. But they're very, very proud of you.
It's hilarious.
I love it, too. The crew's just cracking up. I mean, there's a little bit of a delay, obviously, because it takes a while for the radio signal to reach the craft. But yeah, as soon as it hits, like he's talking about Wayne Gretzky being proud of the Canadian. They're all just like, okay, yeah.
Hilarious. You know, people have talked about how divided we are in this country, how divided a lot of Canada is, right? And a lot of times in my own head, I'm like, okay, are we really as divided as that? You're not quite sure. I saw a clip. Are you familiar with Caitlin Bennett?
Yeah.
Okay, she goes out on the street. She's a pro-lifer. She's a Trump supporter. Yeah. Goes out. I think this was at like a No Kings. It's all these, you know, leftists, basically. And she's asking, do you feel safer around radical Islamists or MAGA folks? Dude.
Oh, come on.
Have you heard this?
No.
This will give you an example of how divided this country is. Roll it.
Who do you have more in common with, a Trump supporter or a radical Islamist?
Radical Islamist.
You saw someone wearing one of those red hats chanting "Make America Great Again," or you saw someone shouting "Allahu Akbar" running down the breezeway here. Who would you feel more safe with?
The one shouting Allahu Akbar. Yeah.
You would support the radical Islamists.
Yeah.
What is it about Trump supporters that you don't think you'd get along with them so well?
I'm gay.
But you would get along with the radical Islamists?
Yes.
And you're gay?
Yes.
In solidarity.
Dude, I'm looking at both of your faces. You're in disbelief.
Well, it's embarrassingly clueless. And this is what we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
I mean, again, what kind of a stupid answer is that? Yeah, radical Islamists. I'd rather hang out with them.
Well, dude, it's like the people, you know, Queers for Palestine. You're like, do you understand?
No.
What? Are you that naive?
It's the blind rage and hatred for one man that they would say stupid things like that. And they really believe it. I think they believe it. They probably would rather hang out with a raging Islamist.
That's the indoctrination. Do you want more?
Of course.
Of course you do, yes.
Radical Islamists. Would you look at the camera and say in solidarity, Allahu Akbar?
Allahu Akbar.
And would you say, "Make America Great Again" in solidarity with the Trump supporters?
No.
What is a bigger threat to America today, radical Islam or Trump supporters?
Trump supporters.
I'll say Trump.
Trump supporters in MAGA.
Yeah.
I would say Trump supporters in MAGA.
I would have to go with the Trump supporters.
Trump supporters in MAGA.
Trump supporters in MAGA.
I'd say MAGA. But we should be able to allow people to be who they are.
Yeah. Even if they're a radical Islamist.
Yes. There's no right to judge that.
So if someone...
You're laughing out loud. Oh, my God. That's where we are. That's where we are.
Who you judging? Well, I'm perfectly okay with judging somebody who wants to, you know, cut my head off.
Well, yeah.
And saying, hey, I don't appreciate that lifestyle, sir.
Yeah. I know, people.
I just shake my head. Oh, boy. And if you've driven by any of these No Kings things, you've seen them.
Yes.
You've smelled them, too.
It's screeching and yelling and...
All I hear in my head is, you know where you are?
Yeah.
You're going to die. Wow. The 5 stories we're watching today coming up.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry!
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-297-7049. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jeremy Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. You know what it's time for. Yep, the 5 stories we're watching today.
Some interesting new polling. The congressional generic ballot from the YouGov and Economist poll. Right now it stands at Dems with 44% and Republicans at 42%. That's a 4-point shift in favor of the GOP in the last week.
What do people attribute that to?
That's a great question. I mean, I think part of it is just the a lot of people in Congress have been quiet, and generally that helps Republicans when they just sort of do the work,
right?
And don't go out there and obsess on Fox News and podcasts.
Yes,
but also I think it's because, Trump has soaked up so much of the oxygen in the room right now. And Democrats, every time they go out there, they just say one insane thing after another.
I think that's the deal.
Oh, what they keep talking, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more they're out there, the worse it gets.
Number 4, the U.S. bombed bunkers, a radar station, ammunition storage on Karg Island, that key strategic point for Iran. Meanwhile, Israel's been carrying out strikes on railways and roads. Number 3, President Trump took to Truth Social to give another warning to Iran, saying, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. Maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight." Number 2, Iran is now reportedly forming human chains in front of power plants and bridges in order to, use human shields. And then number 1, the Tehran Times is reporting that diplomatic and indirect channels of talks with the U.S. are not closed. Meanwhile, the New York Times, failing New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal were reporting that Iran has stopped all negotiations. And Fox News, though, was reporting that talks are ongoing and positive with a possible last-minute breakthrough. So the key takeaway is no one knows what the hell is going on.
Yep. And we're just waiting to see what happens. And you're thinking, hopefully a deal can get done. I don't see it happening. I hope you're right.
I hope so.
So Michigan won the national championship last night over UConn.
Yeah, they did. I watched the whole game.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you entertained?
Yeah, I was. It was so physical. It was so defensive-minded. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it reminded me. I saw this piece I was reading this morning. Trump steps in as college sports turn into a money-driven free-for-all.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is, and he signed an executive order to reshape college sports, targeting what the White House described as an out-of-control financial arms race, driven by name, image, and likeness, the NIL rules.
Yeah, all 5 of the Michigan starters.
From different teams that made the Final Four, different players that have like a key role, but not like the guy role, may leave those teams for another team next year.
Yes.
Because they could make more money going to another school.
Right.
And it is this weird thing because in our society, people are paying to watch these players play.
Yeah.
So do you want to keep them from getting paid?
I don't know how they're going to handle it. I don't know where you go from here. But you will never see another one of those Cinderella story teams ever again.
Well, the one thing I do know from the messaging the NCAA certainly cares about their student athlete.
Well, they always have.
Of course.
They always have. The graduation rates get you into the tournament.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show. So, yeah, as far as what is the right answer
like the
for
way
all
they
that.
do that, the all-academic team.
But
that never made an NCAA tournament ever.
I mean, it's something to brag about. Silver shines just as bright, Scott.
That's right. I understand.
I don't know.
It always cracked me up.
Yeah. I feel like the players should be compensated, but I understand that this is kind of a free-for-all and a mess. Because, like, for me, producing University of North Texas athletics events on the radio, it never made sense to me that me, as a student broadcaster, was able to make money, but the guys on the field weren't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but you're going to get the Yankees in college sports now, and whatever you can buy, right?
There's a lot of updates to get to. A piece of audio and what's your story, all coming up. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show. I'm Jamie Markley, the Gen Xer. David Van Camp, he's the millennial, and then the sexy boomer, that's Scott Robbins. Okay. It's funny, yesterday in that big press conference when Trump was getting into numbers.
Yeah. Well,
and Dan Raisin Cane's like, hey.
He's talking about the Iran operation and the rescue mission of the downed airmen. And so President Trump, he likes to talk about things, and, some things are better left unsaid to the general public.
Yes.
And don't forget, how many men did you send altogether, approximately, for the operation?
I'd love to keep that a secret.
Okay, well, we are. But I will tell you, the number, I'll keep it a secret, but it was hundreds. And hundreds of these people, that's pretty good. Is he central casting? But hundreds of people went into this journey.
I'll keep it a secret, but hundreds.
Hundreds, yeah.
You can see him kind of go, no. Wait, hey, we don't do that. Dang.
All right.
Freewheeling.
Yeah, that was all over. The failing New York Times, he was on that. It just went, on and on. That whole bit about Joe Biden. Holy mackerel.
I haven't heard this yet.
Oh, we had it late in the show yesterday.
Oh, did we?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess we did, yeah.
He was talking about how some of our allies haven't really stepped up to the plate, including South Korea, where we have tens of thousands of troops stationed.
Yes. And talking about Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
And what he had to say about Biden. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, now I know.
You remember that part. Yeah.
You notice he said very nice things about me. He used to call Joe Biden a mentally retarded person, okay? So don't tell me about your stuff. Joe Biden, he said he's a mentally retarded person.
Yeah, it was free form yesterday.
It's rough, man. Yeah.
I do absolutely remember that.
Because you winced when David Blaine.
Oh, jeez, I still do. I've had, cushion to blow. I know what's coming now.
Well, yeah, it's just part of it.
Yeah.
Hey, CBS actually highlighted the California fraud.
Yeah, it's an ongoing investigative report, which is kind of amazing because when Nick Shirley was doing all of this, you heard from all of these professional journalists saying, hey, Nick Shirley's just showing up at places with a camera. That's not how journalism works.
Right.
Journalism means we ignore things that might make our friends look bad. I mean, checks and balances, and professionalism,
right.
Record quotes, press releases. But no, CBS, to their credit, is actually doing their job in California. Correspondent Adam Yamaguchi found one guy who's a doctor, Dr. Rajiv Buva, who has submitted claims alleging to have cared for nearly 2,800 patients at 126 hospices in California.
2,800 for Buba?
Yeah, Buva, yes.
Buva, sorry,
Yeah,
that's
Buva.
a V.
I
thought it was a B.
He submitted $71 million to Medicare in 2024.
$71 million in 1 year?
Yes, in 1 year, where he's basically, he's paying a visit to hundreds of patients every single day, apparently.
He's a gifted man.
Yeah, so Yamaguchi...
That's why they call him the Boofmeister.
That's right. They do call him that, yeah.
So Yamaguchi went to a couple of the clinics and then tracked down this hardworking doctor. So the first couple of clips you'll hear is him just going to these clinics that he's associated with. And then they actually will try to talk to the doctor himself.
All right, roll it.
My name is Adam Yamaguchi. I'm a correspondent with CBS News, and we're doing a story about hospice, and we're just trying to understand how often he's here.
I didn't see him
in a long time. We understand that Dr. Rajiv Buva is the medical director here. We're just trying to get some information about him. He's not?
No.
Was he at some point?
Yes, he was.
But you're telling me he no longer is associated with you guys?
No.
Was he at some point?
Close the door.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. One of the guys like, just close the door. Stop asking questions.
We're just looking for the Boofmeister. He's a legend.
Haven't seen him in a while. Haven't seen him.
Me and my friends, we love him so much we call ourselves Buva Bros, all right?
Yes. The guy puts up huge numbers. We want to ask him his secret.
He's the GOAT.
All right, go on.
We reached out to him on the phone and email, but couldn't connect with him. So we headed to Dr. Buva's home address. Dr. Buva came out. He said that being affiliated with dozens of hospices is not illegal. And I said, you're correct. There's nothing in the law that prevents someone from being affiliated with many. But again, it raises flags, and that's what I have questions about. Buva said he wanted to see our information. Until then, he said he wouldn't talk any further. So we came back with the data. Hi, Dr. Buva. This is Adam Yamaguchi again with CBS News. We were able to hear you through the door. He's made his decision not to talk.
Oh.
Not going to talk.
Why would that be? You'd think he'd want to share the healing nature of his work.
I know. He's obviously like a miracle worker.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Maybe he's just a fierce competitor and doesn't want other doctors to know his secret of seeing so many patients.
Right.
And bilking the government for $71 million.
Well, yeah, that's part of it, too.
It's kind of like how LeBron James doesn't want to know, or doesn't want his competitors to know, what kind of supplements he's taking every single day.
That's right.
Yes, or why so many of those baseball players in the early 2000s and late 90s really didn't want you to know what supplements they were taking.
Got to get an edge. I mean, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Well, you know how he's... What his final moments with the people who are about to perish into the afterlife are all about? What does he do that's so soothing?
With his caseload, man, it's like this guy's either a fraudster or a serial killer.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
kidding.
I don't know which, David. I can't tell.
Well, yeah, hats off to CBS for doing their job. That's good.
Somebody, at least.
All right, Scott, what do you got for What's Your Story?
I always
we haven't done What's Your Story.
No, we
yet.
haven't.
I thought that was David's story.
What were we doing?
I thought that was David's story. My bad. I'm like, that's a heck of a story, David. He's just getting warmed up.
I took a nap and the formatics changed.
The Boofmeister had me all jacked up.
Here we go.
Yeah, we do this a couple of times a day. We go around the table. It may not be the biggest story out there, but it got your attention. David, what is your story?
CNN's Abby Phillip was talking to a former astronaut by the name of Clayton Anderson about the Artemis mission, and naturally, because she is so Trump deranged, it all had to come back to Donald Trump. She wanted the astronaut to weigh in on President Trump.
Okay.
Does President Trump deserve credit for, he said today that he was given a choice to shut NASA down or keep it going. Do you think he deserves any credit for keeping it going?
Well, I think the entire administration deserves credit. All the people that are involved, picking Mr. Isaacman. You know, the politics of it, to me, is kind of fluff. I think that the key thing is that we're doing it, and that takes the efforts of a lot of different people. It takes appropriate budget money, as we all know. We hope that the budget money will continue to be there, because it will be required for us to get to Artemis 3 and then Artemis 4. So, you know, everybody's taking credit. I'm taking credit by being on your show and saying, hey, I was an astronaut for a while. You know, I lived on the space station. Give me some credit, you know. So it's kind of it's a humanitarian success.
Well,
he handled that pretty well.
I think he did, but also Trump is right when he does take some credit for it, because in 2017, during his first term, he's the dude who got this kick-started.
That's true.
I mean, he's the guy. I mean, he wasn't at NASA developing the rockets or anything. I mean, he's not a rocket scientist, obviously. But when he says it was basically shut the shuttle program and everything else down, or keep it closed, or start it up again, he made the choice, and that was let's get back to the moon, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's true. And I think he knows no one's going to give him credit if he doesn't say, "Hey, you should be thanking me." Which is very Trumpian.
They should have planted some sort of Trump flag on the moon, though. That would have been great.
All right, Scotty, what do you got for what's your story?
These stories are always funny to me. You know, in California, the minimum wage for fast food workers has gone up to $20 an hour. So there's a research project that was underway at the University of California, Santa Cruz, and they wanted to take a look at that and the effects of said $20 an hour minimum wage, right, for fast food workers. The report is suggesting, it was just published, by the way, that unintentional consequences have arisen from that, including hikes of menu prices, loss of overtime and benefits, and reductions in employees all the way around. Because automation doesn't ask for a raise. The minimum wage workers were $16 before the $28 an hour minimum wage went in, and the results indicate a plethora of negative outcomes, such as the higher menu prices, as I mentioned, for you, the consumer, that they've passed along to you, and it just isn't working out the way they'd planned. People are not getting wealthier, they're getting poorer.
I'm okay.
Shocking, I know.
Is it $20? I thought it was up to like $30 an hour. Is it?
California's $20 an hour minimum wage for fast food workers led to negative outcomes.
And the funniest part about that, and I always want to remind people about this, especially because Gavin Newsom's going to run for president, one of the things that they did with that fast food bill was they made an exemption for restaurants that bake and sell bread.
That's right.
As a standalone item. Now, why would they carve that out? Well,
David, why?
Because Panera gave a boatload of money.
Yes, because Gavin Newsom takes a lot of money from the guy who owned and ran Panera Bread. It was literally just a Panera Bread exemption.
Yes. Good catch on that, David.
And again, I don't know how many times we have to go over this.
I know.
You know, everybody wants more money. I get it. I understand it. But, man, when you're talking about stuff like this, minimum wage for fast food workers, I mean, again, it gets passed on to the consumer. Consumer pays more. You pay more. Nobody wins.
And was it Mom Donnie was talking about $30 an hour?
$30, yes.
Okay.
Well, he's
he's
that
bonkers.
ship has sailed there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep. For my story, you know, the Obama Presidential Center is finally going to open this summer.
That building, good Lord, did you see that thing?
Oh yeah, $850 million.
Unbelievable.
Now, if you live in Illinois, you will get free admission on certain days. Here's the thing, though.
Okay.
You got to show your ID.
No, you do not.
Yes, you
oh my
do.
God. Oh my.
It actually says on Obama's website, you must be able to provide proof of residency.
Oh, well.
Prepared to show proof of residency at the museum with a valid photo ID, Illinois driver's license, state ID, or city-issued ID.
What's wrong with that?
You know what's wrong with that.
Well, wait a minute. Where's Governor Gravy on this one?
Apparently they don't want black people at the Obama Library. Hell of a deal.
Or women.
Or women, that's true.
That have been married now.
Yes, can't have it.
Can't do it. I know.
Gosh, dang. The hypocrisy rides high.
It's incredible.
Wow.
So they do support requiring ID, but only for free admission to Obama's library. So sorry, some of you undocumented people are not going to be able to.
Adios, amigos.
Nope, sorry. Don't even think about it. You're going to have to pay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's something, man.
That is something.
All right. Quote from Trump that you'll want to hear coming up in just a few. And Nimrods in the news coming up. Spring has officially sprung, and sure, you might be thinking about cleaning out the garage or finally tackling that closet, but what about cleaning out your body? After months of heavy food, too many sweets, and maybe a few extra adult beverages, your body could use a reset. And the best place to start? Your liver. That's your body's built-in detox system.
Try out Active Liver from New Nordic. It comes in an easy-to-take tablet or peach mango gummies, and it's not some mystery formula. It's made with natural ingredients like globe artichoke, turmeric, and milk thistle. This stuff helps support your liver so you can feel better day to day. It's an easy daily detox to help out your liver, and you know what? You will notice the difference.
More energy, better digestion, less of that bloated feeling. You can find Active Liver online at Amazon. Just make sure you're getting the real thing from New Nordic and not some knockoff. Or you can grab it at CVS or Wegmans. Do your body a favor this spring. Give your liver a little attention with Active Liver from New Nordic.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-297-7049. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Yeah, a lot of people thinking about losing weight this time of year. If you're thinking, I want to lose 10 pounds or more. And I've thought about the injections. I've seen people get great results, but I hate needles and I really don't want side effects. Well, there is an alternative that you can check out. It's been successful for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, including people who listen to this show. It's a weight loss supplement called Lean. The results are remarkable. Lean uses studied ingredients shown to help lower blood sugar, burn fat by converting fat into energy, and, of course, just like those shots, curb appetite and cravings. So you get the benefits of the shots without the needles.
Now, Lean, by the way, is not for just the casual dieter. I want to lose a couple, 3 pounds here and there. Nope. A Brickhouse Nutrition designed Lean for the frustrated dieter. If you need to lose 10 pounds or more, let's get you started right now. 20% off plus free rush shipping. Here's what you got to do. Go to takelean.com. Use promo code MVCR. Add Lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan. That's MVCR at takelean.com.
All right, David. So the Trumpster was speaking and said what?
Well, he was describing in detail the rescue operation of the downed airmen out of Iran.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gets very excited about this stuff. No.
They came in so fast and so hard, and these guys knew exactly what to do. Let's go. Come on. Get in. Let's go. Bwah. They came one right after another, not at the same time. They don't want to come at the same time. They had to come right after each other. They didn't have any room.
Did he say blah?
He said blah. With a little hand signal.
Blah.
That's the plane taking off the aircraft carrier. Blah.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Blah.
So it's like the forearm reaches to the sky and it's
yes.
I think that's in the dictionary. Blah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, if Iran doesn't want to come to a deal, there's going to be a whole lot of blah all over the place.
Multiple blah.
Followed by kaboom, apparently.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
Blah. What did I learn today?
It's gone back and forth. I don't know how many times in the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
There might be a deal. Nope. All communications have been shut off.
Mm-hmm. Well, then Iran's like, no. All communication isn't shut off. We're still on the phone. We're still here.
Yeah. You hear Trump yesterday talking about Witkoff, Steve Witkoff, because he's one of the guys that's part of the negotiating team. And I'll say, Steve, what are they saying? We don't know, sir. They can't communicate with us. We've destroyed all their communications. Like we're going back like 2,000 years. They're handing notes to kids, and that's how we're communicating.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah, and they won't.
They're handing notes to kids, or did you make that up?
I think he was making that up, but you're never quite sure.
Wow, yeah.
They don't use beepers. They don't trust him now.
No.
I
better believe that.
No.
All right, we got to get to Nimrods. Here we go.
When the going gets tough,
Damn it, this is too hard.
the dumb get dumber.
All right, Dean.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrods in the News. Yeah, we're going to Florida. Jalen Minzy on Easter Sunday goes into McDonald's. He's expecting free cookies.
Because it's Easter?
I don't know if it was because it was Easter or whatever. He got his food, and he demanded free cookies. They said, well, the free cookies, no, you have to pay for the cookies separate. He was ticked. So he started pushing the workers out of the way, went behind the counter, started throwing stuff at them.
Come on, man.
Oh, yeah, took off with 2 other meals. He was then tracked down at a nearby apartment complex, arrested and charged with battery and robbery. Jill didn't have any cookies either.
He's lucky that he didn't try to pull that off at a Wendy's. He would have gotten shanked. You do not cross the counter.
Better believe that. And that's Nimrods in the News.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
Van Camp and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Okay, so there's chatter out there, David?
Well, yeah. So the Guardian has a piece, and I think again, to me this just seems like more fear porn, and actually exactly the kind of narrative that Trump probably wants out there right now, as he's trying to bring Iran and the regime to heel.
Mm-hmm.
But the Guardian is saying experts are growingly concerned that Trump's, fire and fury is actually going to be a nuke against Iran.
Whoa. Knock it off with that sort of talk.
No, I don't buy it. And this is one of those things where it's like you never know with the Trump ride, because it's like, they want this kind of narrative out there because they want to spook their Iranian counterparts. They want people panicking about it. It's not actually anything like that.
Okay.
But then sometimes I've had that take before with the Trumpster, not with nuclear, not something as grave and dangerous as nuclear weapons, but then it's like I wake up the next morning and I say, holy crap, he actually did it.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because Scott's like, this happened before the show started today, and David's talking off air, and Scott's like, oh, gosh, man, I didn't even think of that. Oh, man. Gosh.
I really don't think that there's any threat of that. I think they want the whispers out there, though.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I mean, and the thing is, they do have a plan. He talked about it. He said, I'd rather not do this. But if we can't get a deal, this is what's going to happen. He's talking about the bridges and, power and everything else. Yeah. And you've seen the video out there in Iran. They've got women and kids all circled around the power plants. Like you wouldn't dare bomb these.
We touched on this a little bit yesterday, but we were talking about information and what they know, the people of Iran know versus what the reality is.
Yes.
And then I read a stat today that only 1% of the Iranian population has access to the internet.
That could be.
Well,
1%.
Yeah, I mean, outside of people in high positions, they've been shutting down the internet.
So they wouldn't have any idea what's going on in the outside world.
No, it's all what's fed to them.
They've been told by their government, this is what's happening.
Yes.
Gosh dang, I didn't realize it was that limited.
But there are also Starlink networks, so that stat is probably not right.
And besides, you wouldn't want to admit it even if you could, right?
Oh, heck no. No, if you're living in Iran and you're like kind of working underground and you've got the Starlink terminal and all that, you got the internet, you don't want anybody to know about it.
Well, and if you're in the United States on the left and you knew that people were getting good information there, but it was through Starlink, they wouldn't want to admit that either.
Right.
No.
Because they made Elon Musk into Hitler.
Right.
It's crazy. I mean, I heard, Captain Hoodly Doodly Doo, Tim Kaine, on cable news is sitting there. What?
Captain Doodly Oodly Hoo.
Oodly doodly hoo.
Yes. He's Flanders.
Yeah, he's Ned Flanders, yeah.
Tim Kaine. So he's out there, and I'm trying to make sense of what he's saying.
Okay.
I'll play you what he said here.
This is all embarrassing and juvenile, and it's people trying to act like they're puffed up and tough when what we really see from the administration in this war is the absence of a plan, the absence of a clear rationale, no effort to get allies on board.
Okay, that's 3 lies in a row.
Right.
Okay.
And thus deep unpopularity of this war with the American public.
Okay. And again, man, it's like this tired old formula. Here we're going to send out our surrogates on cable news, and they're going to stick to their talking points, and dopey people will believe what they say, and on we go. So that's Tim Kaine.
That's another Raisin Cane, but his is like the raisin, like the grape.
No, his middle name's not Raisin. It's Hoodly Doodly Doo.
Because he's Ned Flanders.
Timothy Hoodly Doodly Doo Kaine. Yes.
Yes, very much.
That's on his birth certificate.
It's tough because they ran out of space to get it all in there. Yeah.
And Trump said he doesn't care about the critics.
Oh, no, because President Trump was asked about that Truth Social post where he called the Iranians crazy bastards.
Oh, yeah.
Open up the bleeping straight.
Yes.
And so I believe it was a British reporter that asked him about this.
Okay.
Yesterday in your Truth Social, you called the Iranians crazy bastards.
True.
What is your response to critics who say that...
I don't care about critics.
What is your response to critics who say that it is your mental health that should perhaps be examined as this war continues?
I haven't heard that. But if that's the case, you're going to have more people like me, because our country was being ripped off on trade, on everything, for many years until I came along.
Trade, Iran. What do we want, Jake Sullivan out there?
Right.
Are you kidding me? Or that other Ned? Who was that Ned?
Ned Price, yeah, he was the State Department spokesman.
The other Ned.
The other Ned.
Yeah. That freaking Ned.
The Ned.
What a dope that guy was. You get out there, start slinging nonsense from the State Department.
Strongly worded letters.
Yes.
The world is watching. We believe them at their word, the Taliban.
Our exclusive interview on 60 Minutes with the other Ned tonight.
No, that's a CBS sitcom, The Other Ned.
And what ends up happening? They get taken advantage of. They end up like Ned Beatty, for crying out loud. With the Taliban bending them over. I mean, seriously, think about what happened. Well, a strongly worded letter, and we mean it, and those girls better be able to go to college in Afghanistan. Those girls are back to where it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible what happened to them.
Yes.
And then you got the feminists in the United States talking about, the horrors of living
in America.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of insane, I happened to see this story out of New York. This was on Fox. There's a new racial equity plan for a more equitable future in New York.
Oh, no.
Okay. Zoran Mamdani released his, quote, preliminary citywide racial equity plan yesterday. Of course, there's already pushback, but as a matter of fact, the Justice Department said, we're going to review this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they will. But they explained in a press release that the preliminary report, which the mayor had promised to release within 100 days of office, shows racial disparities in areas like housing, education, and income. And the new plan aims to, quote, establish a new framework for how New York City measures affordability, understands inequity, and plans for a more equitable future.
Oh, it's very wordy.
He's not actually a communist.
Right.
That's communist.
They voted for him, okay?
Oh, for sure.
You get what you vote for. You put this jackass in place.
Not the people that grew up there.
Well, no.
And now it's like
with any sort of resources at all, or bailing out.
It goes on to say the true cost of living measure offers an honest account of what it actually costs to live in this city and who is being left behind. It shows that this is not a crisis affecting a small minority of New Yorkers. It's a crisis touching the vast majority.
Oh, boy.
Okay, in every borough and every neighborhood. But we know this crisis is not felt equally. Black and Latino New Yorkers have been pushed out of this city for decades and bearing the brunt. Boy, when I see pictures of New York in the 70s and the 80s and pictures now, it doesn't seem to be accurate what I'm reading here.
What's his plan?
These reports make one thing clear. We cannot tackle systemic racial inequity without confronting the affordability crisis head on, and we cannot solve the cost of living crisis without dismantling systemic racial inequity.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. So you're looking at racist policies moving forward. Wow. Yes.
I will say this, at least he doesn't try to couch it or hide it.
Well,
He just says it.
Yes.
Well,
It's
he did
the
on the
first-
campaign trail.
Of course he did. That's how he got elected.
This is the first time any New York City administration has required major city agencies to examine their work through a racial racial equity lens and identify and eliminate disparities. And this is set across 7 domains: children, youth, older adults and families, economy, housing and preservation, infrastructure and environment, health and well-being, community safety, rights and accountability, and good governance and inclusive decision-making.
It's gobbledygook, isn't it?
It is. All stuff that's, well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And then put into practice?
But again, how are you going to do it? How are you going to make it equitable? I mean, in your mind, what is equitable? What is it?
Well, everybody gets the same.
That's communism, yes.
Well, yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah.
If you are a person of wealth of any kind and you are able to get out, get out.
They're totally getting out.
What are you doing?
Boy, do you want to do this piece of audio here, David? I mean, I have it. I heard it this morning, but if Robbins is already on the edge.
What you got today?
Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, God, her again.
Well, it was Easter Sunday, but not to her.
Oh.
It was Trans Day of Visibility.
Of course.
Why is it they always have to say, "we see you"? Like they're unseen anywhere?
Yeah.
It's unmistakable.
Yeah. It is unmistakable.
Every time, we see you. Like they're infants.
It's Transgender Day of Visibility. So we just want to wish our trans family the happiest of days. We love you. We see you. We know how trying these times are for you right now, and just wanted to take a moment to say that. And
I guess we'll go ahead and get into this. This is about the IOC, the Olympics, saying
She
no
has no
dongs
problem
and girls.
with the dongs.
fortunately, we have to say that all in the same breath as a really horrible rule that came out from the International Olympic Committee. They've announced a new policy that they're calling, I can't even believe they're calling it this, because it has nothing to do with protecting women. I feel like two people who played at the very highest level for every competition that you possibly could.
Because she's doing this video with her wife, Sue Bird. Yeah.
Don't agree with this and never felt like this was an issue at all. The protection of the female bracketed women's category. They're limiting people eligible to compete in the women's category to those who qualify as what they're calling, quote unquote, biological females.
Yeah, no donks.
This will require a once in a lifetime screening of all women's athletes for the SRY gene.
Oh, yeah.
And if an athlete tests positive for this gene, they will have to compete in the male category. We already know that biology, as much as we want it to be just nice and clean and tight and perfectly in one category or another, it's not. We know that. So now what we're doing is subjecting everybody, all women.
Okay, I can't take it anymore.
Just shut up.
But basically, she goes on to say, this isn't biology. We know this. No, you're bonkers.
We don't know. No, they say stuff like that because they want you to feel dumb. Like, well, we already know. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Hey, remember when you were on the national team and you had the teen boys take you on an exhibition and clean your clock? Imagine they're all 19 now. Not 14 and 15, but 19, and they all say, "You know what? I'm a chick. You don't have any career."
And they come out that strong, her and Sue Bird, considering they don't compete anymore.
Well, and they said we never had a problem with it. You never had to face it.
No, you didn't. That's
not.
just
That's
it,
the
right?
problem.
You didn't. No.
Yeah, try to take it in the paint, Sue, against a dude your same size. Good luck. They're ridiculous,
It's
man.
crazy.
Yeah. You want to know why Democrats poll so low? It's because of nuts like that. That's at least partly.
Yeah.
All right. A couple updates and the 5 stories we're watching today. Coming right up.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected! Also, you forgot to renew your website domain and now you're in a bidding war!
You should see the look on your face. At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room and now everything smells weird! Alright!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-576-2024. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-576-2024. That's 800-576-2024. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. You know what it's time for. The 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, number 5. Per YouGov and The Economist, the generic congressional ballot stands at Dems with 44%. That's an advantage over the Republicans, who are polling at 42%. Now, that is a 4-point shift in favor of the GOP in the last week. And it's probably because Democrats, again, are just hysterical ninnies and big fat crybabies who care about illegal aliens more than they care about you getting through the airport easily.
True.
So there we go. Number 4, on to Iran. The U.S. bombed bunkers, a radar station, and ammunition storage on Karg Island. Meanwhile, Israel has been carrying out strikes on railways and roads. Number 3, President Trump giving another warning to Iran, saying a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't know what I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. Maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We'll find out tonight. Number 2, Iran is now having people form human chains in front of places like power plants and bridges. And the number 1 story is nobody knows what the hell is going to happen tonight. Nobody knows where things stand, at least not in the general public, because you got some news outlets saying all diplomatic conversations are done. You've also got other news outlets saying, no, the talks are ongoing. Axios just published something like a few minutes ago that said, well, actually, there's some real progress being made here, but it still seems like a long shot that something's going to get done by this 8 p.m. deadline. Nobody knows anything, and I think that's probably exactly how President Trump wants it right now. He's good at finding those leverage points.
I did see the Pakistani foreign minister said hope is dwindling.
Yes.
That there will be an extension of this as far as the deadline.
Yeah, those are the top 5 stories that we are watching today. Brickhouse Nutrition designed lean for frustrated dieters with 10 pounds or more to lose. So let's get you started. 20% off plus free rush shipping. How do you get that? You go to takelean.com and use promo code MVCR. That's promo code MVCR at takelean.com.
New report out says 33% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 34 still live with their parents.
How many? What is it? Sorry? Again?
33%.
Holy smokes. Really?
Now, if you're going like 18 to 22,
yeah,
I don't know how many of those are still like technically at home. Even if you're going to college, you're still coming back to your home.
Yeah.
A lot of times. So I don't know how much that is skewed, but for reference, back in 1960, only 22% of young adults lived at home. And I would guess next to zero over the age of 30. Or 5% maybe.
I hope so.
And a lot of people are like, why is that? So the biggest reason is money.
Yeah.
Because everything is expensive and wages haven't kept up. It's another thing that's anecdotal of parents not saying, it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
That's got to be part of it, too. This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show.
I wanted to drink beer and have girls over. That was the motivating force. 18 years old, let's go.
But a lot of parents today would be like, that's fine.
Yeah, like because you live in the basement. You can come and go as you please, whoever. That's fine.
Well, and again, anecdotal, but I'm sure you've heard the stories. For a single mom, they just as soon not be there alone. Son can stay. You can live however you want. That's fine. No problem.
Yeah.
It's not the, hey, you need to find your own place if you're going to live like this.
I swear that's why my dad never fixed up the basement. It was dirty and
yeah, you weren't going to go back there.
I wasn't going to live in that. No,
Exactly.
No windows.
Yeah. Man, there's a crazy story about squatters that can't get removed in San Diego. That and what's your story coming up? All right. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Did you know evicting someone is an act of violence?
Oh, I've heard
I
that
did,
before.
yes. It's very violent, yes.
Well, you have to do it
because you got to use a pitchfork to get them out.
Okay. I thought if you didn't pay rent, you get the warning. And when I was renting, I knew that if you don't pay it by a certain time,
you get booted.
You might get, okay, this month, maybe make it up. But at some point, if you can't pay, you got to go.
Yeah, you got to go.
Yeah.
And if you happen to say, well, I ain't leaving. Well, guess what? Then the cops show up. You're leaving.
Sheriff's deputy right outside to make sure you do leave, yes.
A lot of times that doesn't happen anymore.
No, because you got all these laws to protect squatters.
Yes.
I mean, they can stay there for months and months and months, if not years.
Ayanna Presley, one of the squad, said, yeah, eviction is an act of violence. Oh, did you know that her family holds up to $8 million in assets from 4 rental properties in Massachusetts?
I never knew that until right now. Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, hypocrites all over the place.
Oh, yeah. According to her 2024 financial disclosure, she and her husband reported up to $8 million in combined assets. Spouse earned up to $350,000 in rental income and a property sale. Rentals include a house on Martha's Vineyard worth more than $1 million. That's nice.
Yeah. And Barack Obama picks up your mail when you're not there.
That's very nice.
Watch your dog.
Mm-hmm.
Good neighbors. Yep.
She said some dumb things before. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. Compared to ICE to members of the KKK.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Can't be reformed. But this was the whole part about evictions. Roll it.
Eviction is an act of violence, and we have to do everything to prevent it. It is devastating for the families. It degrades the health of communities. There is great stigma associated with it. It affects your credit score. Housing is a human right. It is.
Housing is a human right.
How is it not going to affect your credit score? You didn't pay your rent.
Yeah.
And what am I supposed to do if I own the place? Just let it go?
That's the thing, man. I mean, you want to talk about, I guess, in their words, violence. What the rent or the eviction moratorium did that Joe Biden illegally extended
for
a while to property owners, most of whom are not multimillionaires. They have like an investment property for retirement, essentially, a turnkey operation.
Mm-hmm.
When they are not able to collect rent, guess what happens? They go broke.
Yes.
Through no fault of their own. And as other jurisdictions have extended these policies, you know what also happens? Rents go up because property owners have to hedge, thinking, okay, I need to charge more because I don't want to get stuck in a situation where I'm going to go 6 months without having a tenant pay rent.
Right.
So I'm gonna charge more in order to make up for a potential deadbeat.
And they still have to pay property taxes on it, which are incredibly high.
The CBS affiliate in San Diego did this story. And, being CBS, you're never quite sure what you're going to get. You can tell the reporter, who happens to be, an older gentleman, because usually the people that are out reporting these stories on the street, they're the young up-and-comers. This guy's been around, you can tell, for a while. He's, at least to me, he's thinking, what is this? But this is part of the
A San
story.
Diego woman says squatters are living in her rental home, and she can't get rid of them despite them owing 9 months' rent. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The woman filed an eviction case, but the judge ruled against her. CBS 8's David Gottfredson spoke to...
Okay, so he's out on the scene, and here you go.
He asked if we had any plans for that house. I told him yes.
Barbara Gunner is the landlord on top of the hill. From her front porch in Encanto, she can see her rental house down below, where she says people have been living for 9 months without paying rent.
How many people are living there now?
About 6.
Barbara says none of the people living here have a written lease. They took over the property after her longtime tenant died.
Do you think that these people are squatters?
They are squatters.
They haven't paid a nickel.
Yeah, they're squatters.
That's why they're down there now.
Yeah, that dude, you'll find out he's a former lawyer. The lady that owns the house is with the dude that's the former lawyer. And, they show the house. There it is. There's nothing you can do about it.
Barbara filed eviction papers and took the people to court, but she represented herself and lost the case. In fact, the judge ruled against her twice.
It's a terrible thing, but your hands are tied. To do things legally, you have to go by what the judge says.
It all came down to what the judge called a verbal lease agreement, formalized when Barbara accepted initial rent payments from one of the tenants. Her husband, Roy, is a retired criminal attorney, and he still doesn't understand the complicated ruling.
By the way, that guy's, delivery of it.
That's old school, man.
It is old school, man. You can tell he's been around for a while. It's cracking me up. But it's maddening watching this.
To me, it's damn near impossible to get anybody out of your house. They come in and tell any lie, and that's enough to squeeze by these current laws in California.
By the way, you can never tell how much someone's worth just by appearances. But if you were to guess by appearances, these are not rich people. The landlords, not at all.
Whether you're a squatter or not, squatters still have rights.
Christina Williams and her husband, Chris Thorne, told me they do live in the house.
She lost. She lost twice in her unlawful detainer, and she was told by the judge that she could not come down here and do repairs and have the tenants removed, but she doesn't care what the court said.
And admitted they don't pay rent.
As a landlord, don't you think she deserves to at least have rent paid to her if she owns
Well, yeah,
the house?
I'm not disputing that. She does deserve to have her rent paid, but there's a way to go about things. If you tried to forcibly remove somebody and you lost, then you go back to a starting point and try to resolve that.
Bad people. Just horrible
I'm
people.
Stunned at that.
I
They
figured it would
are
be.
horrible people.
That's why I
Well,
brought
what are you talking about?
No. Here's the end of the report.
The landlord tells me she is going to go back to court yet again to try and get these people evicted. This time, she plans to hire an attorney. In Encanto...
Yep, there you go.
The audacity of someone to say, well, she deserves rent, but, let's do it differently. Or,
dude,
I don't know. Can you do that on a repo? Guy comes to get your car, say, well, hey, no, wait a minute. I realize I took the loan out on that car, but what the hell is going on?
See, the thing is that the repo guy,
Yeah.
That guy has been through some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he knows his way around wrenches and is usually a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with him.
No, you don't.
Well, maybe Ayanna Presley could tell him that owning a car is a human right.
Well, exactly.
Well, that's
Because I
insane.
live in it.
It's insane.
It's my residence. You can't kick me out of my residence.
Dude.
God, we live in a...
I know. I think about the founding fathers watching that play out. Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh, my God.
All right. It's that time. We do it a couple of times a day. Go around the table. It may not be the biggest story out there, but it caught your attention. David, what's your story here?
All right, this is a very online thing, but there is a punchline here that I was reminded of, and I had totally forgotten about it.
Okay.
There's a guy named Aaron Rupar. He's very prolific on social media. You may have heard of him if you're on X, for example. His whole thing is taking clips out of context of Donald Trump. That's what he does for up to 80 hours a week. He just watches Trump. And he's, this left-wing loser who just sits in front of his laptop all day.
Right.
And the Times of London did a profile of him. And I'll just read you part of this. The psychological demands of Aaron Rupar's work are immense. He counts himself lucky to have remained more or less healthy after a decade in his job. And then he says, quote, I certainly wouldn't say that I'm a model of mental health, really. But for the most part, especially considering what I do and how much time I spend doing it, I think I've been able to emerge relatively unscathed. Now, here's the punchline that I'd totally forgotten about until this very moment.
Okay.
This guy, again, obsessively watches every single Trump rally, every single Trump press conference, every single speech. There was one exception where he got mad because Trump was 30 minutes late and he wanted to go see Earth, Wind, and Fire with Chicago with his mom.
Okay.
So Aaron Rupar took that day off and said, y'all have a wonderful Saturday or a wonderful day. Just so happens that was the day that Trump got shot. So this guy has dedicated his life to following Trump. And the one day where he could have been part of like sharing this obviously horrible and historic moment, he was like, screw this, I'm going to see Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You remember.
That's good.
Oh,
All right,
man.
Scotty, what do you got for what's your story?
A woman gave birth mid-flight this past Friday from Kingston, Jamaica to New York, turning a pretty routine trip into one she'll never forget, and neither will the passengers. Caribbean Airlines, by the way, said the surprise birth happened on a flight from Kingston to New York, expected to take about 4 hours, I guess. As the flight was nearing its destination, pilots were alerted, air traffic control, about an unexpected medical situation. We have a passenger, a pregnant passenger, who is going into labor at this time. After finally coordinating with the medical crews to meet the plane at the gate, the controller said, saying, "Is it out yet?" When the pilots confirmed that, yeah, it's out, the woman gave birth to the baby while mid-flight. She wasn't due for another couple of months, but baby came early. Mom and child doing just fine. One of the pilots said, because of the destination, I think you should name that baby girl Kennedy.
Wow.
Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but what a story to tell years from now.
Yeah. Well, reminded me of the last time I flew into the United States from Jamaica. That was 30 years ago this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No births on that plane.
There was
A couple
not.
of arrests after you touched down, perhaps, but...
No.
Oh, okay.
But I did get searched all the way down to my boxers because I had hung out with our mutual friend Donnie that week in Jamaica. And when we were coming back into customs, there was a drug-sniffing dog that just parked right in front of me for quite a while. And then it was like, sir, you need to come with us. Yeah, that was fun.
So down to your boxers, huh?
Yeah. Oh, they searched my guitar, too. They were going to take the electronics out. They thought I had weed stuffed in there. Like, no.
Did they make you disrobe any further than boxers for probing?
No.
Okay, that's good.
But it was the old, you're going to have to take clothes off. Oh, golly.
Usually got to pay extra for that. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I try not to think about that. That was a nice story, but I couldn't help it. I'm like, coming in from Jamaica, you say. Oh, boy, I remember that.
Did you start weeping?
No, but I was nervous. I'm like, then it's like,
I'm humiliated.
Did somebody put weed in my bag? Oh, gosh. What's going on?
Yeah.
They took you down to your boxers. You're going to be like Alex Padilla.
Yes. My niece. For my story. I have a nice story, actually. And what cracks me up about it is there's already people on the left freaking out, turning into something terrible.
Yeah.
And it's about the rescued airman and his first message. Pete Hegseth told this story yesterday about that rescue.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard this part of it. It made its way around, but not much on, regular synchronized media. So here you go.
He sent a message, God is good. In that moment of isolation and danger, his faith and fighting spirit shone through. You see, shot down on a Friday, Good Friday, hidden in a cave, a crevice, all of Saturday, and rescued on Sunday. Flown out of Iran as the sun was rising on Easter Sunday. A pilot reborn, all home and accounted for, a nation rejoicing. God is good.
For a lot of people, that was really a touching story.
Yeah, good one. Yeah.
For a lot on the left. Comparing it to Jesus. Oh, my God, you've been insane people. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I thought very cool story. I know he's not going to be strip searched either when he gets back.
No, he's not.
Good for him. It's going to be an incredible story. I can't wait for him to tell it. All right, we got a news update, and Nimrod's in the news in just a few.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The monthly Van Camp and Robbins show. Well, if you thought about losing some serious weight, then you've thought about the weight loss injections, but you really don't like needles, and you've heard about side effects and read about the side effects and thought, man, I don't want any of that either. But I love the results. There is an alternative you should look into.
Yeah, if you're working for your beach bod, but you don't want a shot bod, I don't know what that means. I just came up with it on the fly there. Ring me up. That's okay.
I'm not ringing you up for that. You're just being creative.
That's right. I love
I ran
creativity.
to third instead of first. Wow. They created something called Lean. It's a weight loss supplement. And like those shots, it lowers blood sugar, burns fat by converting fat into energy, and can curb appetite and cravings. So again, like the shots, but no drama and no bad jokes from me.
None at all.
Yeah.
If you're a casual dieter, by the way, and you're just trying to drop a few vanity pounds here and there, well, Brickhouse Nutrition designed lean for you, the frustrated dieter, if you want to drop 10 pounds or more. So let's get you started right now. 20% off plus free rush shipping. Just go to takelean.com. Use promo code MVCR. Add lean to your diet and exercise plan. That's MVCR at takelean.com.
Just real quick, out of Chicago again. You know how all these teens will communicate on social media and then all show up in like Mama Place?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that happened again.
Flash mobs.
The mayor, Brandon Johnson, is calling that a teen trend. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, these teen trends,
What?
they can turn violent and deadly. And we're going to have some police out there, enforcing curfew, okay? So we want everybody to be safe and have fun, but no, if you had the will, you could make this stop.
Of course.
But they just don't have the will. All right, we got to get to Nimrods. Here we go.
When the going gets tough. Damn it, this is too hard. The dumb get dumber.
All right, Dean.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrods in the News. We go to Seattle. Friends in Seattle may already know this. Beach the other day near Salty Seafood Restaurant. A 31-year-old woman was arrested. Why? She stabbed a dude in the back of the head with a toothbrush.
Oh, dang.
Glad she didn't have a knife.
Yeah.
I mean, he still was bleeding, and he said, no charges, nothing there. But she stabbed him in the head with a toothbrush. And that's Nimrods in the News.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. You know, earlier I referenced Jake Sullivan from the State Department under Biden.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a clip of Jake Sullivan.
Yes.
What's he been doing lately?
Captain Strongly Worded Letter, former National Security Advisor to Joe Biden, Jake Sullivan. He's worried about Trump committing war crimes in Iran. He's on. This is actually just the talking point. They just say war crimes enough, and people will not, pay attention or follow up with any of it. And that people are just coming away thinking Trump's out there committing war crimes.
Exactly.
So Jake Sullivan was on Morning Joe, and of course Joe Scarborough just set him up for all of this.
Oh, I'm sure.
By the most basic reading of the rules of international law, would those be war crimes the United States was committing?
The way this is set up, the answer to that question is straightforward. It's yes, they would be, because this is punitive. He's not going after a power plant because it's a pure military target that's fueling the war machine against the United States. He's going against those power plants to punish Iran and punish the Iranian people, to try to make them basically quit.
Are you a mind reader?
Yeah, right.
How do you know exactly why he's doing it? Do you think he would tell you, Jake?
Well, see, we used to also fly planes into Iran, and they were actually paper airplanes with strongly worded letters.
Of course, because that's what they were good at that time. Man, I got all these old clips of Jake Sullivan. I don't know what one to go with. I really don't.
There's so many to choose from.
We have leverage over the Taliban?
Oh, sure.
You want that classic from Jake? Roll it.
August 31st is not a cliff. After August 31st, we believe that we have substantial leverage to hold the Taliban to its commitments to allow safe passage for American citizens, legal permanent residents, and the Afghan allies who have travel documentation to come to the United States.
There were people stuck there a year later, dude. Anyway.
We will use that leverage to the maximum extent, and we will work with the rest of the international community,
of course,
to ensure the Taliban does not falter on these commitments.
Yes, because that's what all of you people do. You want it always by committee, and it's failed for decades.
Yes.
And it took someone with stones to say, nope, we're done. We're done. We're going to do something different. So tired of these people, man.
Yeah, I like how, all of the experts that keep getting trotted out on places like MS Now and CNN are just people who have failed at everything.
Yes.
It would be different, too, with diplomacy. When you look at diplomacy and you look at what he's suggesting there and what the Biden administration and administrations before them, if it worked even a little bit, even if there was an inroad or two based on that strategy, you might be willing to go, well, let's play it out and see what happens, right?
Yes.
But it hasn't.
No, it's delay, delay, delay.
That's exactly right. And nothing ever was achieved or done to benefit the United States of America, its safety against these people.
Well, we
or
lost our
anything else.
weapons. We lost our weapons.
Well, yes.
I have a clip of that. I got to hear it. I don't even remember what it was.
We don't have a complete picture, obviously, of where every article of defense materials has gone, but certainly a fair amount of it has fallen into the hands of the Taliban. And obviously, we don't have a sense that they are going to readily hand it over to us at the airport.
What a bunch of female cats. Well, we don't think we can get it back now.
No.
They have it, and they're mean people. But we thought they really cared about being on the national or world stage, and they were going to do appropriate things.
We sent them an Amazon gift card for return of it, and it didn't work.
And my hero Obama sent them pallets of cash.
That didn't work either. That's what I mean, this whole idea that,
gosh,
if you could have seen at least a light at the end of the tunnel somehow that, hey, this is working, it didn't, it won't, it can't.
Now, Obama's DHS Secretary, Jay Johnson, he said something the other day about the rescue operation that was surprising and nice because Kristen Welker on Meet the Depressed was like, well, okay. Yeah.
This operation for the first pilot and the second pilot was a remarkable exercise, demonstration of U.S. military courage, technology, power. I would encourage the President and the Secretary of Defense, consistent with operational security, share as much of that with the American public so that the American public can appreciate what goes into this kind of operation is more complicated than the bin Laden operation, for example.
Wow.
I'm not sure any of that.
That's saying something.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah. The combat search and rescue crews are the bravest people in our military.
Agreed.
Because they know they're going into a place where it's already gone sideways.
Yes. Yeah, it's hard to plan for those things because everyone's unique, and they pulled it off. I mentioned yesterday, it's like you'd watch that in a movie and say, man, that was really cool. I doubt if it would really go down like that in real life. That probably will be a movie. What just happened this last weekend? Wouldn't doubt it at all.
The planning that went into it, too, and the false flags and all the
with the
manipulation
CIA
and the
op on that.
the chessboard, and man, it's fascinating.
It really is. Some other news out there. I happened to see this. There's a whole story about detransitioners suing, like doctors.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're running into an issue where, well, statute of limitations, sorry. Yeah. Epic Times had this piece. And some states are taking the next step by making it easier for detransitioners, saying, okay, we're going to extend this out in these cases. Instead of it's got to be filed within a couple of years, you have until you're 35. Something like that. Because there have been some people that don't realize that there's a problem until a little bit later on. Tell the story of Prisha Mosley, saying she thought she'd get her day in court when the North Carolina legislature extended the state statute of limitations surrounding medical malpractice lawsuits. But even with a change in the law, she is struggling to get her case before a jury. As a teen, doctors prescribed Mosley testosterone and recommended a double mastectomy to change her body to match her gender identity at the time. But as she matured, she came to realize that these medical procedures destroyed her body and left lasting physical and emotional damage. So she's one of many who have sued after life-altering medical procedures. But then it's, well, is it ever going to actually go to court? Said she had painful pregnancy complications that stemmed from her surgery a decade earlier. Oh, so she knew that, okay, this was a big mistake. I was going through a phase, and then they had me on these puberty blockers and this double mastectomy, and it was this awful thing. So she sued her doctors for fraud and medical malpractice in 2023. Judge ruled in 2024 that the statute of limitations barred the malpractice claim, but that the fraud claim could go on. So as that was being litigated, North Carolina extended the statute of limitations from 3 to 10 years and included a provision reviving claims that had previously timed out. So again, she was shocked in August 2025 when Superior Judge Robert Irvin dismissed the fraud claim with prejudice, overturning his previous ruling, and also refused to allow the malpractice claim to be revived. And this judge said, well, trial judges have discretion to amend their previous decisions. So I can just kind of change my mind on that one if I want to.
Yeah.
And so she's appealing her case in state court. And then there's the story of this other person, Soren Aldaco, received hormones and a surgery, said that medical malpractice laws in Texas and beyond don't take into account the psychological and social development of adolescents and young adults. She said it's frustrating. If you're a 13-year-old on puberty blockers, you might not realize you're infertile until you're 26 and just got married and you're trying to have kids. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
It is terrible, yeah.
Dude, and the other girl, even though she had the double mastectomy, she said her body was able to produce some milk despite it, but she still couldn't breastfeed due to the nature of the surgery. And then she developed swollen lymph nodes and was at risk for mastitis or breast inflammation because of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And these doctors, they should have known better. And in some cases, you figure they probably didn't care.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I mean, you're using these kids as guinea pigs for your chosen social preferences, which is just insanity.
It really is.
The amazing thing is, somebody asked me about this the other day, and everything is pending FDA approval a lot of times if it's a new drug.
Yeah.
Whether it's common cold or cancer or whatever. I mean, it's through these trials of years before it's rubber stamped for the general population to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't.
I don't ever remember hearing about it. Like, hey, this is approved now. This is good.
Like a 20-year study, of this.
All of a sudden this doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't happen. Okay, it does happen and it should.
And we're just going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here because I'm not as well versed in it, but it would seem to me that's a legitimate question. Like, how does this just happen?
No, man, when it came out at the Boston Children's Hospital and Vanderbilt, it was like, oh, no, this doesn't happen. That's just right-wing conspiracy. And then, okay, it happens, but it's rare.
Then we're told if it doesn't work, if the child changes his mind, we could reverse everything. Where did that come from?
That was on the puberty blockers.
Yeah,
that
but even that, where did that come from?
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
It is a lie. It's frustrating to me
Yeah.
that you can't get in cancer drugs are years in the testing because they might kill you before the cancer does.
Sure.
You know, it's just, it's crazy. And again, I didn't have an answer for it because I don't know the answer to it.
All right, I got to get to this too. I saw part of this earlier. Gavin Newsom's wife, David, she's a nut.
She is. Jennifer Newsom, yeah, the California governor's wife, is crazy. And May's More on X is bringing out some of her greatest moments, including the time she talked about visiting criminals in prison.
Yes.
This is wild, man.
I mean, I had to be very raw when we interviewed the young men who were juvenile offenders in San Quentin. I told them about my own loss, where I lost my older sister a few days before my 7th birthday, and I blamed myself for her death. And I share that because that they ultimately were accused of committing these violent crimes and sentenced for life. And I think it shocked them that this, blonde lady who was, interviewing them had a similar story, was perhaps in the wrong place at the wrong time. but wasn't punished the way they were because clearly it was an accident, but theirs was probably an accident too.
And again, what is she talking about?
She's talking about she ran over her sister with a golf cart. It was a tragic accident.
Yes, it was an accident.
And she's talking about people who like shot and stabbed people on accident.
Yeah, like when they were robbing them.
Or like assumes that it was an accident. Like, whoa, okay.
Like, it's terrible what happened with your sister.
Yeah.
But to say they shot someone while robbing them and it was just an accident, a whoopsie.
Yeah.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, the bodega owner was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Work.
Right.
What the hell?
Dude.
Maddening.
Well, these are supposed to be the enlightened ones, the intelligent people, you know? Yeah, exactly. Man, a string of inmate deaths. This is a wild story we got to get to, and the 5 stories we're watching today, straight ahead.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-970-3355. That's 800-970-3355. 800-970-3355.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-297-7049. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins, thank you very much for being here. Time now for the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, number 5, Minneapolis. You know, they've been in the news a lot because of fraud, illegal immigration, protecting illegal immigrant criminals, etc. But the city council, they are on the real issues. They are preparing to consider legalizing and regulating gay bathhouses. Councilmember Jason Chavez argued LGBTQIA plus gathering spaces, including bathhouses, have long been targeted by criminalization and policing, and our communities have paid a devastating price for that. It's devastating that you can't.
How is it devastating?
You can't have a bathhouse. You can't have a place to go jump in a pile. Yeah, in this case, not just Minneapolis, but the bathhouse scene started getting shut down by governments because, I don't know, AIDS was going on.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of a public health emergency, okay?
It's harder to get the funding to start your own now.
You got a point there, Scotty. Yeah.
Number 4, President Trump gave another warning to Iran, saying a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. Maybe something wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. Number 3, B-2 bombers spotted on the move. Fox News was reporting on this. They withheld the location of the B-2 because of operational security. And number two, U.S. officials are confirming that Iran has until 8 p.m. to make a deal. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, said, quote, only President Trump knows where things stand and what he will do. I believe that.
That is probably true,
I think it is the madman thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Let's see. I definitely could wipe you all off the board if you don't want to come to the table. Meanwhile, neighboring countries, number one, have been telling people to shelter in place because tonight they are expecting will get loud.
Yes. I know you're nervous, Scott.
Well, justifiably so. I mean, this is just it makes me nervous because you don't know what's lying ahead, man. You just don't have any idea.
And if it makes you nervous, I mean, I'm just thinking people who are serving in the armed forces in Iran, what are they feeling?
Yeah.
And
their families.
Or anywhere in the Middle East right now.
Yeah.
Because of retaliatory stuff, too. You know, who knows?
You just don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well,
you can't fear the retaliatory stuff, though. You just can't.
One big question's been answered. Stephen Colbert's replacement.
It's weird, isn't it?
Sort of. It's Comics Unleashed with Byron Allen.
Yeah.
Taking over May 22nd. He's actually paying CBS for the time slot.
He's really?
And paying for the following hour as well.
Like ShamWow
to air
kind
his
of thing?
comedy game show, Funny You Should Ask.
Wow. And they're going to go a completely different direction. I mean, rather than try to fight the talk show format.
Yeah, they're just doing comedians. Give them a platform to do what he said we all love, make people laugh.
Well, there hasn't been any comedy there for like 10 years, so this is a break.
Yeah, this is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show. We'll see what happens with that.
That's so crazy. It just might work. And if CBS is making money off of it on the front end, what happens
they're
then
doing
if it's a
something
hit?
that hasn't been done in years is turn a profit in that time slot.
Yeah, bartering the show. Wow.
Yeah. All right. I think I know the biggest story of the day.
We're just going to have to sit around and wait a few hours to see what the hell is going to happen in Iran.
Yep. And one way or another, I think I know the biggest story of tomorrow.
What happened in Iran? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Was it fire and fury? Did things go kaboom?
Yeah.
Cooler heads prevail? Who knows?
We'll see. Do have to get to an update. Oh, the story on the inmate deaths, which is kind of wild. And the Scott Robbins trifecta, all coming up right here. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Thank you so much for being here. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. News update, David Van Camp.
Well, remember Kamala Harris's crew headquarters now is what they're calling it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They push a lot of fake news and just they don't understand how the internet works, but they try to be snarky.
Yes.
And so they posted, J.D. Vance, the vice president, doubles down on Trump's new post threatening a whole civilization will die tonight and implies Trump might use nuclear weapons. Let's see if he really implied that. Here is the clip.
We feel confident that we can get a response, whether it's positive or negative. We're going to get a response from the Iranians by 8 o'clock tonight. I hope they make the right response, because what we really want is we want a world where oil and gas is flowing freely, where people can afford to heat their homes and cool their homes, where people can afford to transport themselves to work. That's not going to happen if the Iranians are engaged in acts of economic terrorism. So they've got to know we've got tools in our toolkit that we so far haven't decided to use. The President of the United States can decide to use them, and he will decide to use them if the Iranians don't change their course of conduct.
So implies nuclear weapons. Boy, that implies is doing a whole lot of heavy lifting right there, right?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of other things that can be dropped from the sky that are not nuclear weapons.
Right.
That being
And
said,
we've seen before where all of a sudden we're using a weapon that we didn't even know about.
The discombobulator?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the discombobulator.
All of a sudden, you got guys puking and they can't see straight.
They don't know why.
Yes.
Because of the discombobulator.
That's right.
Well,
Yes.
I've been puking and can't see
Yeah.
straight, but that wasn't from the discombobulator.
Then I keep hearing some whispers about B-52s on the move, and I'm like, okay, maybe we are dropping nukes tonight.
Okay.
And then every time you say that, then Scott freaks out and his stomach turns.
Man. I'll be watching.
It's just sad that we don't have someone in charge like a Kamala Harris that could break down.
Can you imagine her trying to describe this?
We all watched the television coverage of just yesterday. That's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
The insight's incredible, isn't it?
But just limited to what we have seen.
Yeah, that was talking about Russia invading Ukraine. Yep. Brilliance. Boy, oh boy, sure miss her.
That's just nuts.
That's not a sentence. She did not. That was not actually a coherent sentence.
No, she nuked the English language and
sure did.
sentence forming right there.
We all watched on our TV.
We all watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I saw this out of the New York Post. This is kind of crazy. A string of inmate deaths at an infamous Chicago jail have been linked to a terrifying new drug trend. Paper laced with a deadly drug and smuggled behind bars. And corrections officers who have been fighting it say it threatens to be more lethal than the crack epidemic of the 90s.
Yeah.
They start the story talking about guards at the Cook County Correctional Facility. Found this 57-year-old inmate, Thomas Diskin, dead, slumped around in his cell's toilet. This was January 2023. And they were trying to figure out what happened. No foul play. There's no one that could have killed him. What was it? And the county sheriff's office chief of staff, Brad Curry, said at the time, we needed to test this and find what's going on because there were this singed paper littered around his cell. So eventually, a Virginia lab would confirm that the strips were soaked in a synthetic cannabinoid called pinaca, which proved lethal when Diskin smoked the paper. So before authorities could stop it, other inmates were dropping dead.
Gosh.
Same circumstances. Less than 2 weeks after the first death, a 23-year-old was found dead. Then less than a month after that, a 35-year-old was dead. By the end of the year, 6 prisoners fatally overdosed on smoking tiny strips of paper that have been soaked in synthetic drugs, often using a wick or slow-burning string of toilet paper or fabric. They said they didn't know what it was in Diskin's cell, but they knew it was a drug. And it was a race against time. We had a new drug that is very, very toxic and very deadly that Narcan apparently didn't work on. So they tried to warn prisoners about the dangers of it. Do not take drugs in the jail if you want to live. That was the message. And then they inspected every single piece of mail that came into the lockup, looking for stains or anything else that they could figure out, is it coming in here?
Dang.
They said the strips of drug-soaked paper were sometimes so tiny guards wouldn't find it. And not even drug-trained police canines were able to sniff out the new synthetic cannabinoid. And now they're afraid it's going to be going down to schools. Colleges, high schools, that's the fear. So it's like something else to be worried about.
Wow.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Drug-dunked paper. And I suppose in jail, and that's what they said, anybody will do anything to get high in jail.
Yeah.
Got to escape for a little bit.
Yeah, you're like licking the paper then. Or
Yeah.
smoking the paper. What were they doing?
Smoking the paper.
Smoking it.
Yes.
Oof.
Don't know if you saw Offset, Cardi B's ex, shot in Florida last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently okay.
Yeah, I saw pictures of him in the wheelchair outside the hospital today.
Yeah, he's smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the cannabinoid. He's smoking
No,
something
it's
else.
just the lung dart. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. It's just like another day. And then I don't know if you saw this music news. A new artist has 11 songs in the iTunes Top 100.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What? Have you heard it?
AI thing, isn't it?
His name's Eddie Dalton.
Yep.
This, I think you're going to like it, honestly.
We're just passing through time, like the wind through the pines. Just small small little pieces in a bigger design. The older I get, the more that I know.
You like it, don't you? It sounds good.
That's AI.
Yeah, I do, but it's AI.
It's AI. Yeah.
Yep. It's
So Eddie Dalton is the creation of Dallas Little. And yeah, it says everything from the music to his look are AI generated. But also don't accuse him of deceiving people. He said, I don't appreciate how my work has been characterized.
well,
Every social media video is clearly labeled as AI generated. And many listeners are fully aware of that and enjoy the music for what it is. All the songs are written by me. That's what Dallas Little said, who created Eddie Dalton.
Man, he's got a great name for a country artist, though. So why didn't he just go with Dallas Little?
I don't know. I would
Wanted to work
imagine because
anonymously.
he was going to say, this is AI, it's not me.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
That sort of thing.
Scary stuff, man.
But if you didn't know that and just heard it, you'd be like,
Yeah, I mean, it's got a Yacht Rocky sort of vibe to it. Michael Bolton-y, blue-eyed soul guy. Yeah.
And that's right up your alley.
Well, some of it is, yeah. But, I mean, that's...
You don't like it, though, because it's AI. I get
It's
it.
very... Yeah. And again, but if I didn't know, I wouldn't know, you know?
I know.
That's the frightening thing about all of this. Man.
Does the end of the world start tonight? Are we there? Just
Yeah,
ask.
we might be. This could be it.
Just figured today would be a good day to ask. All right, you ready for your
Yeah,
big three?
let's go.
Here we go.
Are you ready?
1, 2, buckle my shoe on.
It's the three most important news stories of the day.
I hit the trifecta.
Well, at least according to Scott Robbins. It's the trifecta on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show.
I know, right?
Scott Robbins' top three stories. Every day helped by his hero.
Casey Kasem.
You would be counting down the top AI songs today if you were still doing it.
No way.
Yeah, you would.
Nope.
He doesn't want to do that. He's told me that.
He'd become AI Casey. Yeah.
No way. I'm ready.
All right, good enough.
3.
All right, number 3, Lindsey Buckingham. He was attacked randomly by a stalker.
Yeah, this is a
The
weird
stalker's
story.
been charged.
Yeah, she's been charged finally with stalking. Well, Lindsey Buckingham, Fleetwood Mac guitarist, singer, songwriter with the band for many, many years. Anyway, he said he doesn't know who this person is, has never met this person, but this person's been stalking him for quite some time. This woman claims now that she is the daughter of Lindsey Buckingham.
What?
And he's like, no, she's not the daughter of me.
How does
That's
he know?
not true. Well, I don't know. She said anytime that she's asked for a paternity test or whatever, or he's asked her to take one, she hasn't. She just keeps bugging him. Now she's claiming that she has some deformities in her face that she claims were caused by him. The deformities in her face.
What?
And is demanding money. She said she suffered these facial deformities as a child, and because he's the father, he owes her money.
Man.
Yeah.
Kind of a happy song for Lindsay.
It is. September of this year, this woman allegedly taped a piece of paper to Buckingham's California residence with a photographic collage of herself and Lindsey Buckingham.
Oh, boy.
One day later, she was pulled over for sitting outside his house. Officers detained and questioned her. She stated that Buckingham was, in fact, her birth father, and she had suffocated, that he had suffocated her as a child.
I was never as close to my father as I would have liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel you there, Casey. Yeah.
Lunacy, man.
It is.
Now,
Lunacy.
on with the countdown.
Scott Robbins, trifecta, top three of the day, up to number
2.
Number 2, Democrat representative and gubernatorial candidate in the state of California, Eric Swalwell, facing some problems.
Yeah, I don't know, a lot of people have heard this. I got dozens of former staffers, interns, other women in Eric Swalwell circles are all going to be starting to come forward, according to a sexual harassment charge that's been filed against him.
Boy.
This guy wants to be the governor of California. And a lot of cringe here. This threat is from Cheyenne Hunt, the leftist attorney and activist who is working with all of these women, and they're going to nail him, she said. They can't get by with this stuff. She said, I've been working with a number of these women who are in the process of coming forward and sharing their stories of sexual harassment and even alleged abuse at the hands of Eric Swalwell.
And they were working with him?
They used to work with him.
They had to get away for a while.
Yeah, they did. She said, we're talking about it before it hits mainstream news. I got involved with the first victim who approached me, but when I saw that there were others who experiences the same pattern of manipulation and abuse of power, I knew I just couldn't stay silent. So we're going to move forward with this.
I don't buy it.
Do you know he's $100,000 in debt, student loan money, and another $100,000 in credit card debt?
Usually these guys turn a profit quick, or does he just keep that debt out there so people say, hey, this guy's not getting rich? You always wonder.
Weird thing that I read that today. I'm like, wow, that's unusual. I didn't know that about him, but okay, he's quite the guy though. He's apparently he's got a thing for the ladies. Not necessarily that they have a thing for him.
Wow.
Katie Porter's paying these ladies.
You wonder.
Well, the timing of everything. You're a couple months away from the general primary. Katie Porter was going to be like sort of the heir apparent for the Democrats. She's fallen by the wayside because she's a nut. He's risen up. I don't know, man. It all just seems it's too conveniently timed. And I can't stand Eric Swalwell, but
no, I can't either. Yeah.
Yeah,
grab the popcorn.
And the countdown
continues. It's going to be a show, man, no doubt.
Yeah. Scott Robbins, trifecta, top 3 of the day.
And finally, one.
Number 1, treating hemorrhoids with sugar.
What? Well, there is a DIY thing out there known as raising eyebrows. Treating hemorrhoids with some sort of balm that you put together with sugary paste. So it's sugar and salt and water. It's all mixed in one. And people are putting it in their old... trying to solve their hemorrhoid problem, and some crackpot doctor and these other guys online are like, yeah, it works. So a bunch of people are doing it, and these doctors are all going, hey, don't do that. Don't be putting that in there. That's not going to work.
It doesn't seem right at all. No.
No. Leave it out. Leave it out. Whatever you do.
In general, it's good to not put things up your butt.
Well, like one of the doctors said, you could do the same thing with just putting a candy cane in there.
Man, okay. Casey's out.
There you have it.
Yeah. Casey played that song a lot, didn't
he? Yes, he did, man.
Yeah.
Tons.
Man, oh, man.
I'm not going to say all that.
I know.
Well,
I don't
you didn't
blame
have
you.
to. I did.
Golly. All right. Scott Robbins, trifecta, top 3 of the day. Well done. Oh. I'm waiting for Casey to say it's been an honor.
Goodbye.
Oh, no. I guess not today.
Okay,
all right.
fine.
Nimrods in the news coming right up. You know, everybody's talking about these weight loss injections because, yeah, the results look dramatic. They work by lowering blood sugar and crushing your appetite. But here's the thing. Those injections, no fun and a hassle. There can be some pretty intense side effects. So if you're saying, I want results, but I'm not signing up to stab myself every week, check this out.
Doctors stepped in and created a weight loss supplement called Lean, and the results are remarkable. Lean uses studied ingredients shown to help lower blood sugar, burn fat by converting fat into energy, and curb appetite and cravings. So you're just not as hungry all the time.
Lean is not for the casual dieter to try to drop 3 vanity pounds. Brickhouse Nutrition designed Lean for the frustrated dieter with 10 or more pounds to lose. So let's get you started. 20% off right now, plus free rush shipping. Go to takelean.com. Use promo code MVCR to add Lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan. That's MVCR at takelean.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-297-7049. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049.
Markley Van Camp and Robbins show. If you thought about losing significant weight and you thought about, one of the shot drugs, you're like, I just don't like the shots. I'd love to have those results, but I don't want that. And I've also heard some stuff about some pretty intense side effects. I'd really rather stay away from that. If you're in that camp, there is an alternative you should check out.
Yeah, it's an oral supplement called Lean, and it is very similar to what those fat shot drugs do. First and foremost, curbs appetite and cravings, right? But that's not all. They use studied ingredients shown to help lower blood sugar and burn fat by converting fat into energy. So you get the positive effects of the shots, but without the needles.
Which is a good thing. Lean, by the way, is not for the casual dieter. If you're trying to drop 2 or 3 pounds here and there, well, Brickhouse Nutrition designed this product, Lean, for the frustrated dieter, 10 pounds or more to lose. So let's get you started right now. 20% off. You get free rush shipping, too. Go to takelean.com, use promo code MVCR, and add lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan. That's MVCR at takelean.com.
News update, David Van Camp.
The CIA, according to the New York Post, used a secret tool called Ghost Murmur to find the airmen in Iran. Ghost Murmur pairs long-range quantum magnetometry sensors with AI to find human heartbeats.
Whoa.
Ghost Murmur.
All right. Man, we got to do more on that tomorrow. We got to get to Nimrods. Here we go.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Dean.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrods in the News, we go to Tennessee, where a school board member is in trouble for telling a female student she was hot during a meeting.
I saw this.
What in the world?
God, you're hot. You know that? Hey, where do you go to school at?
I go to Crockett.
All right.
There was
What?
He's in high school.
You're hot. Oh, my gosh. School board member. And that's Nimrods in the News.